What is up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwartz back again with another Rush Rundown. Today we're going over SAO Alicization. It's going to be a quick and concise overview of SAO Alice's strengths and weaknesses in 10 minutes or less. It's not going to be totally comprehensive, but I'm going to be going over all the main points here. So if I'm going a little too fast, free to slap pause. With that, let's get right into it. While SAO Alice is Neo Standard or playable alongside of Sword Art Online cards that already do exist in English, it is very unlikely that you're going to see Alicization cards and normal SAO cards mixed together because of how Sword Art Alicization is trait locked, using primarily fluct trait characters as opposed to original SAO's avatar trait. The big deck you have to watch out for in SAO Alicization plays a very similar strategy to the 8 Yukina build of Bang Dream, so watch out for its explosive level 3 combo finisher. Most builds of SAO Alicization will not require a level 1 reverse, but the yellow builds that are running the Alice combo will, however, need reverses at level 1. Moving on to the first cards of the set, we'll be talking about the blue finishers. This night sky colored hero Kirito and his partner Yu-Gi-Oh! This Kirito is the birdcage Yukina of SAO Alicization. When Kirito reverses his opponent, your opponent can pay 2 and discard 2 cards to deal 1 damage to you, and then deal another instance of 3 burn damage if the Yu-Gi-Oh! Is underneath him as a marker. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Is fairly easy to get under the Kirito as a marker. Well, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Being an early play healer that also has an ability that if Kirito is in your opponent's level area, your opponent can sacrifice the Yu-Gi-Oh! From their field and then grab the climax or the climax combo from their waiting room. It's a very handy way to make sure your opponent always gets their finisher off. And because they need a reverse, a lot of times they'll be running this 2-1 red event from the original Sword Art set that doesn't allow you to play any backups or events during combat. Next card to talk about is this level 0 Cardinal. She has 3000 power if everyone is Fluct and is one of the first JC style effects we have in English. Whenever you declare an attack on your opponent can sacrifice this Cardinal, send it to their clock, and then bounce the character you're attacking back to their hand, saving their character and denying you any on-reverse effect. Watch out if your opponent has these in their back row, because this effect can still activate from your opponent's backstage. Next card of note, another green one, is this Paige Tiesa. She bonds to the level 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Combo, and she also has the ability that when any of your Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters get reversed, she can sacrifice herself to encore the character. Because this can be used with any Yu-Gi-Oh!, this allows the Alicization player to either go for double combos with Yu-Gi-Oh! By saving him and going for it again the next turn, or by saving their early play if you do manage to run it over. Other than the Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, the other build of SAO Alice you might run into is going to be the mono-red Administrator build that focuses on the Quinella and Administrator cards. The Administrator deck has a pretty heavy requirement of going all in on Administrator because of their experience effects. This card right here is one of the payoffs for playing a lot of Administrators and Quinellas. This Ruler Administrator is a pretty versatile card, either acting as a back row assist to give 500 power times the level to all Fluct characters, or can even be a serviceable attacker with its 2 souls. Also, if the Administrator and Quinella experience effect is met, it is a very powerful anti-heal effect, which again is something we don't really have a whole lot of in English. So if you're playing a healing-oriented top end, something like ReZero or Slime, and you run into the Administrator deck, definitely be on the lookout for this card. As far as backups and counters are concerned, nothing really too special to see here. Alicization has a generic 2k counter, a 2-1 anti-change counter, and they have this 3-1 event counter that allows your opponent to give 2500 power to one of their characters, heal a card from their clock to waiting room, and add this event card into their memory. The fact that it's a counter means they can use it on their turn or your turn, so pretty versatile card, so watch out for it. As far as bombing goes, there's an option for a level 2 bomb for every color in SAO Alice. Not really much to note here, nothing really too special. The blue one does bond to the Alice finisher if your opponent is playing the yellow top end. Common builds you might run into for SAO Alice. Blue book and pants build that you see off to the left is the build with the most tournament results up to this point. And it basically plays out like the 8 Yukina build of Bang Dream, having a Maguro combo off a book trigger at level 1 into a burn 4 finisher off of pants that splits the burn 4 into 2 parts. Other builds you might see include the 8 Wind build with Alice's. The Alice build does require a reverse for its level 1 combo, and 8 wind triggers can be very annoying if you're playing a standby heavy deck. And while not pictured here, there is also an 8-gate administrator deck that I talked about earlier that you might run into. Bringing it all together here, the set does have a Ricky. It is an on-death 0/0 Alice Ricky. For anti-change and bombing options, Sword Art Alicization's options are fairly vanilla, with generic 2/1 Suiciders and a 2/1 anti-change counter. The most popular build is the Book's Pants build that you saw on the last slide. Usually it is going to be running the 2/1 red counter that I talked about earlier to stop you from playing any events or backups to stop them from getting a reverse. If your opponent is, however, not running the 2/1 Graham event, the only red card you would see in the deck probably, do try to have some backups or ways to deny their reverses. SAO Alice is very good at repeatedly and consistently setting up its level 1 combo turns and defending its UGOs on board with the Tiesa back row. As far as weaknesses go, if the Alice player isn't able to finish you off with their finisher, whether it be the Kirito or the Alice, the deck is very all-in on burn and might not have the tools to kill you the next turn if you're able to heal down. Also, the deck's game plan is very straightforward and telegraphed, so you should know what you're running into pretty much every time based on the climaxes you see. So there's really no tricks they can pull on you. And because it's a SAO set, you can expect to see it a good bit of tournaments, especially among newer players who were not around to pick up the original SAO cards. And that's basically Sword Art Alicization. If you liked the video, please drop a like or leave us a comment. Let us know how we did, and maybe let us know your secret tip for this matchup. We'll be releasing more Rush Rundowns every Wednesday, with our usual deck techs on every other Friday. Along with these links we drop at the end of all of our videos, we will also link some sample deck lists for Alicization below if you'd like to see some more in-depth examples. And with that, we're done. Pittsburgh White Schwartz signing off. We'll see you in the next one.